you guys didn't see this coming. Swap bikes on you. That's what I'm all about. The element of surprise. This is a Suzuki DRZ 400. And it's what I'm gonna finish out my last Hawaiian ride. What's up, guys? As you can see, I have swap bikes on you, and I made a point to actually put this thing on the dirt, because this is what's called a supermotard. Yeah, straddle this monster here, get her started up, and we'll get out of here and finish off my vlog on a totally different bike. So, you might ask yourself, what happened to the R6? Actually, this is actually a couple days later. I turned that R6 back in, made the video, my last Hawaiian ride, and then my buddy, oh, we got potholes, stand by. We're actually on the pegs, dirt bike style. Okay. So anyway, a buddy of mine, he offered, I had the day off, my last day on Hawaii, I'm literally leaving tomorrow. He was like, dude, you want my bike for the day? And I'm like, shoot, yeah. So I decided to take it out, and I was like, well, my camera was charged, and why not? I'd add a little bit to my last series of videos. We're going to turn in here just because I want to show you the view here. I might even have to flip my visor up a little bit so you can really capture the blues of the ocean, because I've got a pretty dark visor, and that's kind of one of the reasons my videos don't look all as pretty as they should. But check it. And if you're not familiar with what a motard or a supermotard is, it's basically a dirt bike that has a sport bike suspension components on it, as well as sport bike tires. Sometimes they come with sport bike type brakes, and it's an evolution of the regular motard. This is a super motard here, and the regular motard was a bike that ABC Wild World of Sports in the 1970s, they decided to host a series of races called motard races, and basically they had them on these go-kart tracks when you couldn't have a full-size gigantic sport bike track. And it was 70% asphalt and 30% dirt. And then in the late early 90s, late 90s and stuff, the Europeans started building these things again, but they called them super motards, which these actually have street tires, unlike the motards of the 70s. And they handle like you would not believe. One reason for their good handling capabilities is that they're extremely lightweight. I don't know what the weight is on this thing, 300 pounds maybe. But the big deal is the fact that it's got such an incredibly small turning radius, so that really tight twisties are extremely manageable in this thing, where they take a lot more work in an actual full-size sport bike. One story that I wanted to relate was when my buddy John got this bike, we took it up to this mountain pass that was really tight turns. Now John he's a really fast motorcyclist, I mean extremely fast, privateer, racing fast, and you know, he's a good bit faster than me. I usually could nip at his butt a little bit, but you know, when he really wants to go, he can go. And we took these bikes out, and I was on my Ducati 748, and once we hit the twisties, it's a Hayabusa, once we hit the twisties, he was gone. I did not see him again. Now, I'd never been that way with John before. I'd always been kind of close, but never like that. And I was kind of embarrassed when we got to where we had to stop and turn around, and we got to the top of the mountain pass, and he handed me the keys. He's like, you want to ride it? And I was like, yeah, sure, dude. And as we started going down the mountain pass, I was on this thing, never ridden it before, ever. But 2 turns in, I never saw the headlights of my Ducati in my rear view bike for the rest of the ride. I was gone, and he was way behind me, and I realized that in the real tight, twisty stuff, you can't beat a motard. I mean, they're just too quick and too agile. So, I mean, they're a lot of fun. If you ever get your hands on one, you will not believe how much fun they can be. I mean, they're just a blast. Currently, there's a few manufacturers that actually build motards that, you know, are turnkey right out of the box. Yamaha's got a 250. Suzuki's got this 400. Husqvarna's got a couple of them. KTM has I think 1 or 2, I'm not sure, that are ready to go out of the box motards. Who else makes one? Well, there's obviously the Ducati Hyper Motard, which is almost kind of defeats the point, because it's so big and so heavy that you kind of lose a little bit of that nimbleness of a motard like this one. But it makes up for it in brute strength. It's a pretty powerful machine, where this thing, I think stock factory was probably 40 horsepower, maybe 38, I don't know. And John's put a lot of money into this thing, so it's pretty hot for a 400, and it shows. You know, it's a lot of fun. That's about it, guys. I decided it would be fun to show this video because, you know, I'm adding another motorcycle to my tally. I actually only started officially vlogging 6 days ago, even though the videos are going to be spread out over a number of weeks probably. It was actually 6 days from the yellow R1 ride, or R6 ride, to this one. And I've already ridden 4 different bikes. So By Way of Motorcycle is all about numbers. You know, our whole motto in life is to ride all 50 states by way of motorcycle. So, you know, numbers are kind of a cool thing with me. So I decided that before the end of the season, I want to try to ride on 15 different motorcycles. So we're going to keep a tally and keep a track of different motorcycles I've vlogged on. So it should be kind of fun to see if I can make 15. I wanted to shoot for 20, but I don't know if I can get 20, but I know I can probably get 15. I can probably video from 15 different bikes. So check out the Bentley over there. Pimp, pimp. Well, guys, this is truly and honestly, no kidding, my last Hawaiian ride. In fact, the first thing I'm doing when I get back in my car is I'm taking my helmet to the post office to mail to myself. I'll be getting on a plane in 17 hours, and I'm done. I'm off the island for a while. So I just wanted to tell you guys thanks for hanging out with me. This is Billmaa signing off, and I will see you on the road.